Alright, so section 9.2 is talking about the area of a circle. So what that means is, here's your circle. It wants to know all the space on the inside. So it gives us a formula that we need to remember, and our formula is area equals this wacky sign, that's pi, times r with a little 2. Let's talk about what all those things are. Well, pi is a really huge number. That's 3.14151 ... Really big. So what we do is we give you the approximation, which is 3.14. So in this section, when you're working with pi, you're going to know the number 3.14. The r is the radius, and that is the distance of the circle from one side to the middle. That's your radius. You start on one side and you stop at the middle. On the previous section we learned about diameter, which, if you remembered, that was from one side of the circle through the middle back to the other side. For this section we're working with radius, which is from one side just to the middle. So we're going to do some example problems here. We have the area equals pi times r squared. So let's draw a circle here. And I'm going to say that our radius is 3 inches. So if I plug this into the formula, I have area equals, remember pi is that 3.141518. We're going to chop it down and we're just going to say 3.14 times our r, which is 3 squared. Remember, this squared means it wants you to times it by itself twice. Not by the number 2, but by itself twice. So we're going to plug into our calculator 3.14 times 3 squared. And if your calculator does not have a squared button, you need to type in 3 times 3. So I'm going to, my calculator does not have that, I'm going to take 3.14, I'm going to times it by 3 and times it by 3, because 3 squared means multiply it by 3 twice, and I get 28.26, don't forget my label was inches. Since I'm finding the area, I use squared. So again, the steps, remember area equals pi r squared. We take our numbers we know. Well, we know pi, we're going to use it as this 3.14. The radius is the distance from the middle to one side, which in this case is 3, and we got the squared. So I'm going to plug them in, 3.14 times 3 squared. My calculator does not have the squared button. Typically on a scientific calculator there's a little button, and it's got an X with a little 2. If you have that button you can use that, but mine doesn't, so I know that when I'm using 3 squared it actually means 3 times 3. Plug that in and I get 28.26 inches squared. Let's look at another example here. Let's take a circle here. And I'm going to give you the diameter, so I'm going to tell you that from left to right it equals 4. So I'm going to tell you D equals 4. Well, we're at a problem here, because we know that area equals pi r squared. I don't need a D, I need an r. So I need to convert this D right here into an r. And I do that because the diameter, the radius is 1/2 of that. So it's D divided by 2 equals r. So if I plug in my number, I have 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So my r is 2. So to get from the middle to one side is 2. So I go back here, I got my formula. Area equals pi r squared. Remember, I'm going to use 3.14 times 2 squared. My calculator does not have the squared button, so when I type it into my calculator, I'm going to go 3.14 times, remember, squared means take this number and times it by itself 2 times. So times 2 and then times 2 more. And when I do that, 3.14 times 2, I get 12.56. So I hope this helps you out. You might have to watch the video more than once, but let me just go over a few things again. Remember, r is your radius, and that takes you from the middle of the circle to the edge. Pi is that really big number, but we're going to use it as 3.14. And if they give you d, which is diameter, from the last section we know diameter is the distance from one side of the circle to the middle and the other side. So to turn our diameter into radius, so to take diameter and turn it into radius, we need to take d and divide it by 2, and that'll give us our r. I hope this helps you out. If you have any more questions, please let me know.